Hi, I'm Austin.
I'm Alex,
You're listening to One Last Breath, an autopsy of awful albums.
where we discuss controversial, bizarre, divisive, and downright abysmal albums. In today's episode, we'll be discussing the debut album, The Big Day by Chance the Rapper. Although it was Chance's debut album-wise, the release was actually the fourth of his career, his first three being mixtapes.
Yeah, so excuse us if we call it Chance 4 the whole time. If you're a Chance fan, you understand that Chance albums and mixtapes are usually called Chance, and then the number of release. We'll try to say The Big Day, though.
Yeah, which is weird because I don't think I've ever called acid rap Chance 2.
No.
But Chance 3, everybody called
it's Chance,
coloring book Chance 3.
Because he had the hats that just said 3 on them.
Yeah. I mean, he even said it in his verse on Ultralight Beam by Kanye.
Yeah.
He said, let's do a good-ass job with Chance 3. But yeah, so Chancellor Bennett, a.k.a. Chance the Rapper, was born April 16th, 1993. Born in Chicago to parents Ken Williams Bennett and Lisa Bennett, his father being an aide to Chicago Mayor Harold Washington and then Senator Barack Obama.
What?
Yeah, we'll get to it being even better with that. And his mother working for the Illinois Attorney General. I tell you all this to drop this fact on you. Which this is from Wikipedia, so fact check it, but apparently Chance met Obama in his youth and shared his aspirations to be a rapper. Do you want to guess what Obama's response was?
That's Chill Dog.
Word.
Word? Oh my god. Can you imagine you're talking to the President of the United States of America?
Well, at that time, the senator,
okay,
I guess.
The Senator of
Illinois.
the United States of Illinois.
The United States of Illinois.
You're talking to the senator and you're like, hey man, I really want to be a rapper. And this 30-something-year-old man is just, my fellow American, word.
my fellow rapper, word.
But I'm not a rapper.
Yeah, I thought that was a good fact.
That's ridiculous.
Growing up, Chance's early influences include Michael Jackson, Billie Holiday, Sam Cooke, along with various jazz and gospel artists.
And you can hear that a lot starting in Chance 3. Sorry. Coloring book. You can kind of
even
hear
acid rap.
You can kind of hear an acid rap, but acid rap is more rap than his later albums really turn out to be.
Yeah. But his interest in hip-hop began when he heard Through the Wire by Kanye West on a local radio station.
Honestly, same.
He later purchased the album and later stated he was inspired to rap by Kanye. He began rapping in 6th grade and formed a duo named Instrumentality with a friend in his freshman year of high school. However, he never started any serious projects until his junior year in 2011, after being suspended 10 days from school for smoking weed.
Instrumentality is a hard as fuck name.
Yeah?
He should do something with that. That's hard.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, we'll get to it, but I don't think he really has much to lose at this point.
Oh, no, he fucking does not.
Yeah, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, and it'll probably be good compared to The Big Day, but we'll get to it.
He's like the biggest name in rap right now. Well, he was.
He was at one point. I don't know. But the project took 8 months to write and record, releasing on April 3rd, 2012, aptly titled 10 Day.
Have you listened to 10 Day?
Yeah. Have you?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's not...
It's obviously like a freshman attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because usually the freshman attempt is a band's best album for a while because they've had a lot of time to put it together. But like he just put together a mixtape and released it, as opposed to like Fall Out Boy's freshman attempt. They had all these songs written and they were like, well, we get to choose our best songs in the past 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of bands that... I mean, it doesn't always happen.
But James also ignored the sophomore slump, so like...
Yeah, exactly.
He's fucking...
Yeah, I like 10 Day. I obviously don't like it as much as Acid Rap or Coloring Book, but I mean, it's still good.
Chance,
I like it.
Acid Rap and Chance 3 are his best shit, in my opinion.
For sure.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers, but I mean, I feel like the majority of Chance fans would agree with that.
If you're a Chance fan, you know that it's all about Acid Rap and Coloring Book. And you're in one of the two categories, really. There's Acid Rap fans and Coloring Book fans, and they all love the other album.
I'm sure there's some people that 10 Day is their favorite. But
I'm the Big Day stan.
Oh no. Where was I at? Oh yeah, so the mixtape was downloaded over 400,000 times on mixtape site .piff and over 235,000 times on Mixtape Monkey. Following a re-release in 2019 onto vinyl and streaming services, that album actually charted number 73 on Billboard.
Wow, he's charted a couple times without selling an album.
Mm-hmm. So his sophomore release, Acid Rap, came out the next year on April 30th of 2013, garnering over 1 million downloads on Dat Piff, and it even debuted on number 63.
I don't like the name Dat Piff.
Yeah, Dat Piff.
Oh, it's Dat Piff? I don't know.
Dat Piff.
It sounds like an off-brand Daft Punk.
Yeah, Dat Piff.
Around the country, around the country.
Around the Providence. Or Providence.
Just around Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, it actually debuted on number 63, Acid Rap that is, on the Billboard top R&B and hip-hop albums due to bootleg downloads on iTunes and Amazon. Acid Rap was met with widespread critical acclaim from critics, ending up on multiple Best of the Year/Decade lists from numerous publications. It was also re-released in 2019, debuting all the way at number 5 on Billboard. Then
damn.
Yeah. Then Chance's third mixtape, Coloring Book, was released on May 13th in 2016 to more critical acclaim, peaking at number 8 on Billboard, becoming the first mixtape to ever chart solely based on streams. It also won Best Rap Album at the 2017 Grammys, becoming the first exclusively streaming album to win a Grammy. So, yeah, as you can see, Chance definitely had a lot of upward momentum.
He had a lot of hype behind him. Like, everyone was like, this kid is the next big thing. This kid is the next Kanye.
He's the next big thing, but it turns out he had the big day. And it was not the big day. And now comes July 26th. I almost said 2016. July 26, 2019, with the release of Chance's debut album, The Big Day. It debuted at number 2 on Billboard, being Chance's highest charting project to date. Described by critics as pop rap and gospel rap, while also containing traces of R&B and soul music, the album was met with a generally positive review from critics, with many highlighting the optimism, cheerful tone, and lyrics about Chance's married life.
He is a wife guy now.
Yeah, that whole I love my wife meme.
He is the one wife guy I trust.
Yeah.
Because normally wife guys is like, well, you're going to cheat on your wife.
Yeah.
Like John Mulaney, the dude from Try Guys, probably Logic. That's hey, Logic, that's a joke. Please do not sue me for defamation.
Yeah, and a 10 out of 10 review by Adam Isaac Itkoff of the AV Club. He states, "The Big Day is a rare bouquet on full display. A stunningly realized array of color, sound, and sensation that swallows the room. Any structure at risk of pop cliche finds new life through Chance, whose mastery of composition creates spins on existing musical archetypes, like new sympathetic grooves being carved out for the very first time."
I feel like critics love this album.
Most of them did.
Chance fans, however, did not like this album.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but yeah, it's a very big divide. Fred Thomas of AllMusic.com gave the album 4 out of 5, summarizing, "Bright, flawless production supports Chance's optimistic lyrics and cultivates an atmosphere overflowing with joy, wonder, and summery nostalgia." Not every critic review was positive, however, and Anthony Fantano's review of the album...
Bald Man Bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he says, but...
Listen, even a broken clock is right, I don't know, like once or twice a month.
I mean, he was pretty spot on with his Father of All review that I quoted. That one was funny.
He's really good at knowing when an album is dog shit.
Most of the time. There's some stuff that he's given pretty bad reviews to that a lot of people, and me included, are like, bro.
Because he doesn't know when an album's good.
Yeah.
He just knows when an album's bad.
Yeah, I don't agree with a lot that he says, but I mean, I like him as a person. Like, I like watching his Let's Argue segments and stuff.
I really like his TikTok where he just memes on himself.
Yeah.
I think he's very self-aware.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Cool guy.
But in his review, he gave it a strong 0 out of 10, stating, "Going into this album, Chance has style, he has personality, he has flow, he has lyrical ability, he has a budget, and he most likely has a mountain of producers stumbling over each other to work with him. So going into this, I had no reason to expect anything other than a quality album. The Big Day is essentially a 22-track torture chamber with 77 minutes of runtime. Lots and lots of features, some of which are kind of bad, corny skits, offensive vocal performances, and honestly Chance's worst bars to date."
You done, Keaton?
He said, let's do a good-ass job with Chance 3.
Key, go lay down, please.
Yeah, I feel like Fantano was, I don't know, a little harsh on it. Like, a strong 0 out of 10.
Strong 0 is... I don't want to spoil my feelings for the album yet, but, like, no matter what I think... I'm never going to give an album a 0.
Yeah.
I give Alien Kids, like, what, a 2?
Yeah. I can't remember what we gave it.
It was, like... It was at least 5 times a 0.
Yeah.
Which is still a 0. We're not going to math that out.
And then Lucy Schenker of Consequence concludes...
What?
Lucy Schenker.
Oh, God, I thought you said a slur there for a second.
What? I don't...
Forget about it. I'm not going to say it.
Lucy Schenker of Consequence concludes, there's an abyss between the kid on acid rap and the man on Big Day. And while you can't blame a man for growing up and aging out of these topics, you can blame him for not being able to communicate in a way that still resonates with his fans.
I like how she was like, man, acid rap, the Big Day. There's nothing in between.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, just ignoring Chance 3, which is a lot of people's favorite Chance album.
Yeah, and it kind of, I would say it introduced a lot of the stuff that he kind of blew to the extreme.
I don't do drugs and I love God.
Yeah.
I think in Chance 3 he was still doing some drugs.
Probably, but...
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Don't stop doing drugs, kids. You make better music.
Sadly, it's true.
Who's the guy that did, not Lupe Fiasco. He did fucking... My brain isn't working today. Kid Cudi.
Yeah, Kid Cudi.
He stopped doing drugs. Yeah. Terrible music.
He stopped smoking weed, yeah. And then he did that one album that everybody fucking hated. I forget what it was called, but it was
Listen, if you don't do drugs, don't start. But, like, if you're doing drugs and you're making some pretty good music, as long as it's not killing you... I mean, jazz wouldn't be jazz without heroin, so, like, maybe don't become a jazz musician.
Don't do school, stay in drugs. But yeah, so, and then she continued saying, regardless, the key positive takeaway is this. Chance is happy, and it's hard not to be happy for him, even if it means we'll never get the old Chance back. Which I agree with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for Chance.
Yeah, but...
Being married's cool.
Yeah, but...
But you can be married and make good music. I've been doing it for 5 years.
Yeah, I think... That's you clearly can, but...
Well, I guess I've been married for 5 years, but you get the point.
Although the album fared mostly positive with critics, there has not been an album in recent memory that killed an artist's career and credibility faster than The Big Day.
Lulu.
I feel like Metallica didn't have much credibility before that.
Lou Reed never had credibility.
But, yeah, the album holds a truly abysmal score of 1.25 out of 5 on Rate Your Music, 3.7 out of 10 on Metacritic, and a 4.9 on AllMusic, which is worth stating that the score from Rate Your Music has a little over 7,000 ratings. Metacritic only has 322, and AllMusic has 139, so obviously the more users that rate it, the more negative the aggregate score becomes. So
yeah, it seems like there are a few really big Chance 4 defenders.
Yeah, then the more people, like, Rate Your Music has, like, by far the most reviews, and then that also is the worst score, so I feel like it kind of evens out in that regard. But the severe regression from Chance along basically every facet of his music has left fans with very little optimism for what the rapper has in store for the future.
I've listened to some of the stuff he's done after this album, and he got it back.
Has he had, like, just features, or has he had actual... I mean, I know
he did, like, a Christmas song, and that, like...
I think he had a whole Christmas album.
He went pretty hard on the song I heard.
Okay.
So I think he's getting it back. I think this is just a lull, which, I mean, he might just be the next Eminem instead of the next Kanye. Kanye? Actually, Kanye even missed a couple times.
Yeah, I don't like... I mean, Ye is pretty mid, but definitely that was like...
And I feel fine talking good about Kanye now because he's not anti-Semitic anymore. He watched 21 Jump Street.
I completely forgot about that. Shout out Jonah Hill.
By the time this episode comes out, he's going to say something anti-Semitic again. I can just feel it.
Yeah, Ye was pretty mid. Jesus is King was awful, and Donda, I don't know. I like
Donda.
I liked 3 4 songs on there.
Well,
at
I
the
liked it
most.
for the month I was allowed to listen to it before EA said the shit.
Yeah, I listened to it like 2 or 3 times when it first came out, and I haven't listened to anything from it again.
Okay, well, this is not a shit on Donda episode. That might come later.
That might come. But, yeah, so what are your first thoughts on the big day?
I listened to this album when it first came out. And there were a couple tracks where I was like, hell yeah, like Hot Shower. But no, there were a couple tracks when it first came out that I was like, okay, I kind of like this. But overall, my first impression, 4 years ago, was, wow, I miss the old Chance. I think I've come around a little bit more this time. Like we'll talk about it, but I feel like I've come around a little bit more, and I don't hate the album anymore.
Okay. For me, I actually didn't listen to it when it first came out. I didn't even
Because you had heard the Hot Shower single.
No, I hadn't even heard that. I didn't listen to that or any other songs on it. Which is weird. Like, I don't know, this came out in the summer of 2019.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was really doing then. Like, I don't know. It might have been because I wasn't, like, as big into rap at that point. Like, at that point, I don't know what the hell I was listening to. I mean, you know, you kind of go...
porno grind, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you kind of go in and out with genres, like, you'll get really hyper, at least for me, I'll get, like, really hyper-focused on a few things.
Yeah,
and then
like right now, I'm super hyper-focused into Japanese music.
Yeah, for me, it's, like, jazz fusion, fucking, like, old-school thrash and death metal, and then, like, some, like, 90s rock alternative shit.
I wonder why we're listening to thrash metal, the both of us.
But, oh yeah, hint for the future. But yeah, so I didn't listen to it right out the gate, and honestly, a lot of that probably had to do with reading how much everybody fucking hated it, and I just didn't want to give it a listen.
I had heard the Hot Shower scene when I was like, this is going to be a bad album, but I have to listen to it. It's Chance. He's done some weird shit before and then still come back, and maybe Hot Shower is much better in the context of the album, which it could be.
Could be, but yeah, so I hadn't listened to it before this. The only songs I had heard before we listened to this entire album for this was Handsome, the one with Meg. I heard that because my wife liked it when it was out, like I think it was a single, and I was like, yeah, this isn't. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this isn't awful. And then Hot Shower, some of mine and Austin's friends showed it to me, and
as a joke, yeah.
Yeah, as a joke, and I was like,
shit.
Yeah, but it's fucking hilarious. Like, I ironically love that song. It
started ironic.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But yeah, so I don't know. So listening to this, I guess my initial thoughts, like, were it's not as bad as people made it out to be. But then the more I listened to it, the more it just got on my nerves, I guess.
Yeah, it goes on for a little long.
Yeah, and the thing is, it wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't on such a fucking upward trajectory. Like, he just...
Yeah, it's like
he just such a big fall off.
He was going really high, and then someone just built a fucking wall. Like, he stopped climbing to build a fucking wall that he couldn't climb over.
Yeah, like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
And I think he's finally getting over that wall.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But I just can't think of any other artists that... Because, I mean, artists I've loved have released shit, i.e. fucking Father of All by Green Day, but at that point, it's like, they're fucking what? 12, 13 albums in their career, like... They're
over 20 years old.
Yeah, like, they're a legacy band. Like, they're gonna release shit.
You can write shit when you've been a band for 20 years.
Yeah, but Chance, it's like, he came out with 2, arguably 3, like, fucking classics in a row, and then he drops the ball so hard with this. I think that's what makes it so bad, because, like, literally every aspect, like, his raps, his flow, his voice, his beats, his feature, like, everything
changed.
Just it's such a significant drop off with this album.
Yeah, it's like the Fire Nation fucking attacked.
Yeah, and going back to another thing that Fantana said, which I liked, was it kind of felt like he, with this album, was trying to do shit that Kanye does, where he'll pull, especially on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, like, he gets all these artists from, like, all these different genres that would have nothing to do with each other and pulls it together and makes it make sense. And it feels like Chance was kind of trying to do that with this album.
It's very hard to do that.
Yeah, and like some of it works, which we'll get to, but a lot of it just feels really forced.
Yeah.
So like I feel like a lot of this album he was trying to do Kanye shit.
And a lot of the features are like people that nobody fucking cares about.
Yeah, exactly. So
like I knew like maybe half the features were people I knew about, and less than that were people I have listened to actively.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so want to get into it track by track?
Okay, so All Day Long. It feels like the Chance 4 version of Angels.
Okay.
I like this song. I think the chorus is super catchy, and the verses have like almost as good wordplay as it used to have. I think it's a solid opener.
This was one that the more I listened to it, the more I didn't like it. Like right off the bat, I thought the verses were decent. But the more I listen to it, his voice is just like really annoying to me in this song. The way he does inflections on his words and stuff is just like really over time got grating on my ears. And then like looking into the lyrics, some of it was decent, but some of it I was just like, what the fuck is he even trying to say? Like something about I'll play a show at the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Okay,
I was like,
goes
what?
hard.
And then the fucking something about Pippi Longstocking. Like I don't even.
Yeah, know. I'm not saying all the wordplay is great, but the wordplay that hit was almost as good as his older shit.
Okay.
Not quite, obviously.
Yeah, and then another thing is, I just, even from the first time I heard it when I was a little more positive on this song, anything that John Legend is in, I just don't, I don't know what it is.
I'm not a fan of John Legend. I forgot he was in this. I ignored, the chorus might be catchy. I ignored it the whole time.
Yeah, it's like he has a objectively good voice.
He's objectively a talented musician.
Yeah, it's just something about his voice. Like it's just
don't fucking. He's another wife guy.
I think it's just his voice is just overly. I don't want to say overly emotional. It's just too polished feeling. I guess.
Yeah, I feel like he overproduces his vocals.
Yeah, it's like soullessly good. Like it's like it sounds good, but it just doesn't evoke any emotion.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of vocalists want the perfect voice, not realizing that the greatest vocal take of all time is in Give Me Shelter with her fucking voice cracks.
Yeah. Yeah, or fucking
this is also not a Give Me Shelter pro podcast. Okay, the podcast as a whole is pro Give Me Shelter. This episode is not about Give Me Shelter, so we'll move on from that.
But yeah, exactly. Like a lot of my favorite vocalists are imperfect.
A lot of my favorite vocalists are bad.
Yeah. Objectively bad.
I listen to emo.
Yeah.
They're not good.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that's what it is with John Legend. Like anything he's in, I can't lie, the only solo song I can name from him right now is All of Me.
Oh yeah, that was him.
Like anything.
I know he's married to Christy Teigen.
Yeah.
Or did they divorce? They're still married?
Who knows? But
I don't fucking know. We don't keep up with celebrities. We're too busy listening to albums that are. This is the newest album we've listened to. I think No Father-in-Law was.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I'm too busy listening to
shitty albums that are mostly like a decade or two old.
Exactly. But yeah, so not the worst song on the album, but just kind of for me. Like it is catchy, but the more I listen to it, the more kind of got on my nerves. But then we get into Do You Remember, which luckily everything I said about the last song is completely opposite here. Like I actually really like this song. I love this song.
The first time I listened to it, I liked it. I thought it was fine. But now that I'm the age that Chance was when he wrote this, this song hit hard. I was fucking crying to this.
Yeah, the lyrics are really good in this song, and the chorus, like
Ben Gibbard is amazing in the chorus.
Yeah, it's like a cheerful sounding song, but also at the same time, like kind of solemn, like retrospective. And then like lyrics about Chance's youth and wishing you could go back to the good old days, and how as you get older, time inevitably will fucking get faster and faster and faster until you die. Essentially,
it's a little fucked up to hear.
Yeah,
it's a lot. The verses do have a little bit of cheesiness.
Yeah, they do, but it's tolerable here.
I think overall the song is one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, mine too.
I'll go ahead and say that outright.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and then Chance's, like I said, like everything is opposite here. Like Chance's voice sounds like his old self on this one, I think. His bars, while not up to par with his older shit, are better on this song. The chorus is really good.
Yeah.
Like pretty much everything I said about All Day Long is opposite here, so that's one of the better things I can say about this album so far. And then we get into Eternal.
He spends 3 fucking minutes talking about how a side piece will never be as good as him. The song is mid. It's mid as fuck.
Yeah, it's alright. Like, most of it, especially Chance's parts, feel really just, they kind of fall flat and just feel uninspired.
Force.
Yeah, force.
Like, he was like, well, I gotta write an album about how the man my wife dated while we were broken up isn't cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, bro, you're married now. It doesn't matter.
My wife's boyfriend said I could play Fortnite tonight.
So yeah, some of it I'll give it to him. Some of it's kind of clever. Some of it's
There's a couple
funny.
clever lines, but it's mostly just mid.
Yeah, I like the one where he says, while your side dude's sitting at the club with a booty on his chin like a cleft. And then side chicks make they Kool-Aid with Splenda. Like, those are 2 pretty funny parts. But then I will say, Smino, the feature on this song, I like his verse a lot.
Oh, yeah, Smino goes a little hard.
Yeah, and he's someone that every time he
was on Acid Rap too, right?
No, he wasn't on Acid Rap.
Who am I thinking of?
Yeah, I don't know who you're thinking of. But I don't know if I've heard any... No, I've heard a couple solo songs by him. Most of the stuff I've heard from him is
I've definitely heard some Smino features.
Yeah, you definitely have.
Name.
But yeah, like, he brings a really... Like, the way he raps almost reminds me of Kendrick in a way, because he, like, switches through a bunch of different voices and tones, and then he'll, like, start singing out of nowhere within his verse. Like, he has a really unique...
He's really interesting.
Yeah, he has a really unique approach, and I think that he saves the song for the most part. Like, he takes it from being a pretty bad song to being pretty mid, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he brings up the song a lot, so I will say he has one of the better features on this album.
Then we get the Hot Shower. This song's a meme.
Yeah.
I refuse, for my own sake, and for the sake of me wanting to respect Chance as a person, I refuse to believe this wasn't a joke.
It's kind of hard not to. I mean, because while a lot of his verses and bars seem cringe and forced on this album, like, this one just feels too over the top to not be a joke.
Yeah, I feel like he knew that people weren't going to like this album very much. He's like, well, what if I do this?
Yeah.
And then people have something to focus on.
And have you seen the music video?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious too. But yeah, the beat sounds like you just went on YouTube and looked up generic trap beat and just took it, and then
the words are just like rhyme salad.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
The chorus is catchy as hell, though.
Yeah.
Hot damn, hot water, hot shower.
Hot Atlanta smoking green cauliflower. But yeah, the verses goes from over the top and nonsensical with Chance to pretty boring and basic with Made in Tokyo. Is that how you say his name?
I think so.
It's like TYO. I'm assuming it's Made in Tokyo. His verse is pretty just like, eh. And then it goes to The Baby, which... The Baby is a shit person, but... He does some pretty good shit on this song. Yeah, his verse actually, like, unironically goes pretty fucking hard.
Yeah, like we said earlier, this song started as an ironic, like, look at what Chance has been doing. And then it turned into, like, an actual, like, this song kind of go.
Yeah, I love the part where Chance is like, that shit don't even make no fucking sense, like having fucking arguments for paying 50 extra cents for barbecue. I'm just like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Should have taught you that we're all just dudes.
That we are dudes. Yeah, and then one of my favorite all-time bars from like any song ever, unironically, is when The Baby says, "Today I'll dress up like a Republican, get some head from a white man's daughter. Her lips aren't big, but I'm loving it. I'll get in fake ID, I'm McLovin' it."
Yeah,
I fucking love
The Baby goes hard on
that part.
Song.
That part is so fucking funny. But yeah,
after this, it's We Go High, which the sample of Navi. It says I have the sample of Navi, so I don't know if I hated it or loved it. But I had some very strong feeling about the Navi sample.
Yeah, this one just kind of bores me to death, this song. It's just, I don't know.
He tries really hard to get wordplay on this.
Yeah, and this is the part in the album where the over-sentimentality, like, really, really kicks into full drive. Starting here, like, I don't know. It's just too, like, the thing is, like, Coloring Book was very gospel-heavy.
Yeah.
And very sentimental, but it felt uniquely Chance. Like, it felt like something only he could do.
Maybe,
like, the way he bridged everything together with it.
I really think the thing that made Chance fall off is loving his wife as much as he loves God.
Oh, no.
He can love drugs. Listen, like, his 4 albums. 10 Days, loving getting suspended. Acid Rap, loving drugs. Chance 3, loving God. And now we're loving your wife, which is like the least cool out of all those things.
Yeah, he can only love one thing at once. What will he love next?
His kid,
Fortnite.
probably.
His wife's boyfriend.
His wife's boyfriend.
No, but
like paying 50 cents for a Fortnite skin.
V-Bucks. But yeah, I don't know, it's like, because like I said, it's like it was really gospel heavy on Coloring Book, but it felt uniquely Chance. But just all the really gospel inspired songs on this album just kind of feel like anybody could have made it.
It feels like he's trying to cash back in on that Chance 3 hype.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna make a very, I guess, commercially accessible album and just kind of cash in on it, because it's just, I don't know, like most of the really trying to be emotional parts on this album just kind of fall flat. Like, there's no, where Coloring Book had like some urgency, it was like really celebratory, like it felt like a victory lap for Chance, and then this one just kind of feels like he's just kind of,
it feels like he fucking tripped on the hurdle on the way around.
yeah, and he's just kind of just trying to let it come for him come to him instead of being hungry like he was on Coloring Book.
Like, he knows that he has success no matter what he releases.
Yeah, and then last thing I'm going to say about this one is that, yeah, it really doesn't help that the most fucking annoying video game character of all time is sampled throughout the song. Like,
yeah, I don't know if I hated the sample or loved it, because it just says I have the sample.
I have the sample.
Jesse, it's time to sample.
I have the sample.
I am the one who samples.
We need to cook into the studio, Jesse. But yeah, this one's just boring as fuck to me. Like,
and then we got I Got You, Always and Forever. This song has way too much singing.
Yeah, this is one of the like 3 or 4 on the album that just feels like it's straight out of the 90s and not in a good way.
Yes, and I love the 90s.
Yeah, I love the 90s. Like,
VH1, we love the 90s.
Yeah, like, I mean, I might have been born in 1999, but I love the 90s.
But, like, it's nothing to write home about. The verses are weak. The singing goes on for way too long.
Yeah, and
the song kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. And his like, the voice he puts on and his flow is, like, really weird. Like, to me, it sounds like a mix of Shaggy and Phife Dawg from A Tribe Called Quest. Like, it's like, at the same time, it's like, it's like 90s old school hip hop feeling, but then at the same time, it brings like that.
Mr. Boobastic?
Yeah, like what, like I guess you could call Shaggy like reggae inspired.
Yeah,
maybe
I just call him Mr. Boobastic.
But you know, he has like
he has that
unique flow and like the way he stretches his words out, like his Chance tries to do on this, and I don't know why the fuck he did it, because it does not work at all. So. Yeah, this one, I Got You, kind of fucking sucks, I have to say.
After this, we get to the first skit of the album, which skits are kind of rare these days.
They really are, and Chance has never done a skit.
He's never done a skit, so I don't know why he decided to do this, but I'm like, the skits are also like feature salad.
Yeah, like fucking this one has John Witherspoon.
Who died almost 3 months exactly after the album released.
Damn, I didn't know he died that long ago.
Yeah, this may have been the last thing that he recorded.
Yeah, I thought he fucking died like 2021.
No, it was 2019.
Huh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense that he included skits on this. I mean, kind of, because I guess it's trying to tell the story of like his wedding.
Yeah, I mean,
because this one is going for, I guess, Chance and his brother
like
getting their pictures taken at the wedding, and John Witherspoon, I'm assuming, plays like a granddad or an uncle or something.
Yeah, something like that.
At first, I thought it was just a fucking sample from the Boondocks straight up, because like the way he's voicing it sounds like he's just voicing Grandpa from the Boondocks.
Okay, so Chance actually had, now that I think about it, Chance has had skits. They were just baked into songs.
Okay,
They weren't separate tracks. Like the last track of Acid Rap Has his
with
dad,
his dad, yeah.
His dad's talking to him.
Yeah, but that's like into the song. Like this is
it's not a separate. This is a separate track.
Yeah, this is the first time he's had separate tracks just being skits. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty funny skit. I'll have to give it to him.
And I like hearing John Witherspoon again.
Yeah, anything with him in it's fucking hilarious. Like, just the way he talks is hilarious.
Yes.
So.
Moving from this, it goes really good into the next album, Rue.
Into the next album.
The next album. I wish we were into the next album.
Yeah.
It goes really good into the next song, Rue.
Yeah, this one, it has like a really weird, ominous vibe to it.
Yes.
Which is like nothing else on this album.
It also has what I think is arguably the best verse on the album. The problem is...
It's from
Taylor Bennett,
yeah.
not Chancellor Bennett.
Yeah.
Chance's verses do go a little stupid.
Yeah, like, this is one of my favorite songs on the album.
This is a high point
yeah,
for
it is.
sure.
Like, I really, even though in the context of the album, it makes no sense to have a song with this kind of menacing vibe to it. It goes kind of hard. Like, it kind of reminds me of the Yeezus album by Kanye.
Yeah.
It's like really minimalistic. I won't say industrial, but just like really minimalistic droning beat with a sample from Coco Rosie, who I don't know who it is,
I don't know who that is.
But I liked her feature in the beginning. I said sample, I meant feature. But I feel like it's kind of underutilized. Like I feel like she should have came back.
She should have done a little bit more. But I also really like that. Like the subject matter of the song is weird for this album.
Yeah, it is. Because everything
like,
else is I love my life.
This one's like me and my brother will kill you if you get in our way.
Yeah.
Me and my brother will murder you.
It's just me and my bro.
And we got guns.
Yeah, it is really out of place with the album, but I mean,
like it feels like an early Tyler the Creator song almost.
I could see that, yeah.
Or like We Got Bitches by Odd like an Odd Future song.
Yeah.
But like it's like we got guns.
Yeah, but even now that you mention that, like there's really nothing else that sounds like this that Chance
in Chance's discography.
Yeah. Like
he's never been like, I will kill you and my brother will help.
Yeah, I mean there's that one song on Acid Rap where he says all that anti-violent shit goes out the window along with you and the rest of your team. Is that on
that's like one...
something on Acid Rap.
It's on Acid Rap.
Yeah.
But it's like one line.
Yeah.
This is like an entire song about him and his brother will kill... Like,
yeah, like that, the lyrics of it, and then, like I was saying, the the beat and the tone of it, like, yeah, it's very out of place in Chance's catalog, but I can't lie, I like it.
Yeah, it's a really good song.
That's what we've been talking about.
Okay, so the next song is The Big Day.
Yeah, this one's pretty fucking boring. Like, I guess it kind of acts as like an interlude of sorts.
Because it's just about the halfway point of the album.
Yeah, and it's just singing. Like, it opens with whoever the fuck Francis and the Lights is. Never heard of him/them. I don't know if
Francis.
It's a group. I don't know who it is. But they start by singing, I can't believe it. Must be the luckiest guy alive. Somehow I'm right, but we're only going to survive if we go crazy. And then Chance comes in and sings almost the same exact thing. Oh my God, it's the greatest day of my life. So glad you arrived, but the only way to survive is to go crazy. Yeah, the only way to survive is to go crazy for about 2 minutes. Like, he literally sings that 3 times.
Yes. You also cannot convince me that Lin-Manuel Miranda did not have a part in this.
He's the dude that did Hamilton, right?
Yeah, and Moana.
He did Moana?
Yeah, he did Moana.
Huh, interesting.
You can tell because he has a part in Moana. And Lin-Manuel Miranda not putting himself in a movie he worked on, challenge. Impossible.
Yeah, I like Moana a lot, but I didn't care for Hamilton.
I like Hamilton. I really like Lin-Manuel Miranda. I think he does good music, but this sounds like a Lin-Manuel Miranda song.
But yeah, just that goes on for 2 minutes until somebody just starts randomly, frantically shouting obscenities in the background.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck, shoot it, fuck it, God, fuck, shit. I'm just like,
yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, and then it ends with a small verse by, I'm guessing, Francis and the Lights about something about being a molecule of Christ. It's kind of the most pointless song on the album. It is the most
pointless song on the album. An album of pointless songs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I got nothing really else to say about this one. So.
Let's go on the run. My notes are incomplete. It says, and I quote, "This chorus is so cheesy, but the beat is sick and the verses are mines."
The verses are mines.
So the verses are mines, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This whole song feels like it came out of a made-for-TV Disney movie to me. Like it's just it's just like way too fucking joyous.
Movie.
Yeah, it's just way too upbeat and cheerful, and I don't know. It's just really obnoxious. The fucking part where Chance says, "I got plans to hug and kiss you. I got plans to hug and hug and hug you." Like, is that really the best fucking line you can come up with, Chance? I don't know.
Hug and hug and hug. I don't know.
He's like, I got plans to hug and kiss you. I got plans to hug and hug and hug you. It's like, okay.
Okay, buddy.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, it just sounds like a reject Disney song. And then towards the end, it just drops like the really over the top, joyful sounding keys and just goes into like this kind of.
It goes a little crazy for no reason.
It goes into like a really low key beat with Chance just kind of sleepily rapping over it to end the song. I don't know. It's a really weird beat switch towards the end of the song. Yeah, I don't.
And then Handsome, the song we mentioned earlier.
I think it's one of the better songs on the album.
The beat and the flow are really chill.
Mm-hmm.
I like the chorus. Chance's verses are solid. I think Meg Thee Stallion comes in with the wrong energy.
You think so?
I think so, because the rest of the song is like really chill, and then Meg just comes out really aggressive, which that's her thing.
Yeah,
that's fine. I don't think she was the right choice for the song. I think she would have done better on something like Rue.
Okay. Yeah, I could.
She could have been like, "My brother will also kill you guys."
Yeah, I could get that. But yeah, I like that. I mean, I like her verse. I do see what you mean though. How because Chance's part
it's
is
a
pretty
good verse.
Mm-hmm.
It's the wrong energy for the song, I think.
Yeah. I mean, her verse pretty much, like you said, is pretty standard for her. Like any verse I've heard from her and any song I've heard from her, like it ranges from decent. Like I've never heard a bad thing from her. It either for me, everything she does is either decent or like really good. So kind of keeping in line with that, but. I feel like they really missed an opportunity to, because you know how they both have their famous ad-libs. Chance has his fucking, I can't even attempt to do it. Yeah, there you go. And then Meg's is, So I feel like they should have just... Yeah, exactly. They should have just gone back and forth with like a breakdown of the song with their fucking ad-libs.
That would have been really cool.
That would have been funny. Which Chance doesn't do a single... on this whole album, does he?
I think he does one or two.
Maybe one or two.
But it's not like... Acid Rap, it was like every song. Coloring Book, it was every song.
Yeah, I mean, he did it a little less frequently on Coloring Book.
Yeah, but Acid Rap, it was fucking everywhere.
Yeah. But...
I think the most he does it in Coloring Book is when he goes, for my real fans.
Yeah, on Angels, I think. But... Yeah, I feel like they missed the opportunity with that. I would have liked them to just fucking ad-lib each other. Ad-lib battle each other instead of a rap battle.
Yeah, that would have been great. Big Fish.
Pretty decent trap song.
Okay. It's some lyrical miracle shit, but it's...
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a lyrical miracle, spiritual individual. Like, it's just really slow. It's sober Chance trying to be acid rap Chance again.
Yeah, his verse is decent. The chorus is fairly catchy, fairly decent.
I like Gucci's verse.
Yeah, it's definitely the highlight of the song, and I feel like his verse should have either been longer or like there should have been someone else featured on this song. Like this one feels really short to me for some reason. Yeah, Gucci was definitely a highlight of the verse, which I feel like most songs that Gucci features on, he's a highlight.
He got like the rappers he got to feature are really good.
Mm-hmm.
After this is Ballin' Flossin', where Chance just pretends to be high again.
God.
And then Shawn Mendes does the Shawn Mendes thing of ruining songs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was like, why the fuck did you have to pick Shawn Mendes to feature on this?
Of all the people, you could have picked Chino Marino. I would have loved to see Chance featuring Chino Marino.
That would have been interesting.
It's the guy from
Deftones.
Deftones? Yeah, I don't even like the Deftones.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting choice. But yeah, it's another 90s throwback song. I don't know. Like, I feel like he could have picked anybody but Shawn Mendes to feature on this.
Literally anybody.
Yeah, his part's annoying. The beat's annoying. The background singers are annoying.
The verse is the weakest shit I've heard on the album so far.
Yeah, and then the fucking bridge or whatever it is that Chance tries to do is cringe. He talks in like a really low voice. He's like, "Now you're balling, flossing, yeah. Now you're balling," or some shit.
It's not good.
And then to top it all off, he has a fucking peanut butter jelly time reference in the year of 2019.
Yep.
I don't know. Like,
I don't get it.
I really like fuck the song. This was like one of the worst songs for me on the album.
Yes. After that, we get our next skit, 4 quarters in the back.
Yeah.
This is apparently a character from the movie ATL. Never seen it.
From the movie ATL?
Yeah, there's a movie called ATL. That's what this character is.
That's
what Genius said.
Okay. But yeah, it's Keith David.
Yeah, apparently Keith David plays some guy in ATL.
I've heard of the show ATL that Donald Glover did.
Yeah, there's apparently a movie from like 06. Never seen it. Never really heard of it.
Okay.
I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just assumed he was playing like a smart-ass uncle at a wedding. Because he's like giving a speech of like how proud he is of Chance, and then immediately just starts listing everything that he's doing wrong in his life, and then like everybody in the wedding starts chiming in on it. I really like the part where John Witherspoon comes in and he's like, "Stay off them perky pills." Oh, he says it. He's like, "Stay off them perky pills."
Yeah, it's a pretty good skit.
Pretty funny skit.
And then 5-Year Plan, which it's just another Chance 3 song.
Yeah, I put that like. It's kind of a gospel-inspired song on the album that actually feels...
Yeah, it's not soulless.
Yeah, it feels inspired.
It feels like it was a song he wrote for coloring book and was like, "No, I'm gonna save this."
Yeah, like I feel this is definitely out of all... Like I feel like most of the songs on this album fall into 3 camps. It's either tries too hard to be a trap song and kind of succeeds with Handsome and Big Fish.
Yeah.
And then Hot Shower. kind of succeeds, kind of doesn't. It's either that, then it's random 90s R&B throwback songs, and then the majority of the album is just tries too hard to be very soulful and I love my wife, I love God, like just tries too hard to feel like really inspirational, and I feel like this is the one song out of that last camp that actually kind of works.
Yeah, I think there's another camp of tries too hard to be acid rap.
Really?
There's a lot of songs in here where like he's trying to bring back the success of acid rap.
Okay.
And like I wish he could, but he doesn't do acid anymore, so he can't.
Yeah, so and I guess the gospel-ish songs could feel like they're trying to be coloring book, and I feel like this is the one that gets closest.
It succeeds. It is a coloring book song.
Yeah, it isn't as good. Like I feel like
coloring book is better. Yeah.
Yeah, like this would be an outtake, but pretty good outtake.
It might have been.
Yeah, it could have been.
Like it. The beat is really dreamy, which I like, and the verses are good. Or verse. There's just one verse in this song.
Yeah.
My only complaint is I wish it was longer so I could get more of it.
Yeah, and I also will say the Randy Newman feature, which most people know him as doing "You Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story.
Yeah, I was like, I know the name Randy Newman. Who the fuck is Randy Newman?
I will say his parts feel kind of awkward and unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of his part kind of gives Lou Reed on Lulu vibes. Like he just is kind of like talk singing and saying really weird shit.
No matter what we do, we cannot escape Lulu.
We can't, but it doesn't bring the song down too much. I mean, overall, this is one of the stronger songs on the album. So
after this is "Get a Bag," which feels like an acid rap song.
Yeah, I could see that. It's kind of a mediocre, upbeat, poppy rap song. Fairly catchy. I mean, decent enough verses and energy from Chance. Nothing too offensive, but nothing really
Pretty
sticks.
good wordplay.
Mm-hmm. But nothing really sticks out as memorable. I mean, it's alright.
And then the Cowboys. Or whatever the fuck they're called.
Wait, what?
There's another verse by someone called, like, Cowboys.
Oh, is there? I didn't even see that.
Cowboy?
I think it's the Cowboys.
Whatever.
The entire 2019 Dallas Cowboys roster featured on this
song.
song.
I said Cal, C-A-L.
Okay. Maybe, is it Cali Boys?
Maybe. I don't know. Either way.
Cowboys, Cali Boys, Cowboys.
Whoever they are, they try to ruin the song.
They try to ruin the song?
They try to ruin the song really hard.
I don't think I even catch that. I thought this entire song was just Chance rapping. I don't know.
There was a random someone else rapping. It's bad.
Okay, I don't know how I missed that. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent, alright enough song. Not one of the worst songs on the album, not one of the best songs, just kind of falls in the middle. Then you got Slide Around, which is another pretty meh song.
He tries way too hard to get the acid rap wordplay.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's not too terrible, But Nicki Minaj and Lil Durk, I think, both out-rap Chance on this one.
Well, Nicki does the one thing she does in every song she features on, which is has the best verse.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is not an episode about Nicki, but Nicki does this thing where when she has her own song, she has one really good verse and the rest is shit. So she's a really good feature artist because she has that one really good verse every time.
Yeah, especially on like fucking Monster.
Yeah, it's like she can only write one verse per beat.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, don't come at me, but I feel like Gucci Mane's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Granted, I haven't heard a lot of his solo stuff, but everything I've heard, I feel like has one really fucking baller ass verse, and then the rest is kind of and then every time he's on a song, he goes fucking hard. But granted, he has like fucking 40 something mixtapes. So
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing on this song, Chance does this really fucking annoying thing where in his verse he drags out, like, he ends a lot of the bars with words ending in the letter S, and then drags out the S song. He's like, I think he says something about keep receipts, something.
And there's like one word he just adds an S that's not even there just so he can hiss.
Yeah, and then after
it's really fucking annoying.
And then after he does that, he does this thing where he does after everything he says. It's like gotta slide her around, getting that back. I mean, those aren't the real lyrics, but
dumb.
Yeah, a lot of like really fucking annoying ASMR sounding shit by Chance on this. That got on my nerves.
Then we get to Sun Come Down. I like the song.
Do you?
I like the song. It's really nice to hear him talking about like accepting his death, what he wants after death.
Yeah.
You don't hear rappers talking about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You get like, I can't think of a lot of songs that are like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another kind of sappy song about marriage, and I mean, it's not awful. I will say, it's some of it does hit. We'll give it that. I mean, it has some pretty good introspective lyrics, but yeah,
it's not like the best song of the It's a good song.
Yeah, the main themes I feel like is not taking anything for granted and always telling your significant other that you love them before you go to bed. That's like the main overarching thing he says on the song, and then he talks about like making a will, and then how
don't hologram after my death.
Yeah, and like how when he dies, like how to make a movie about his life. Like don't make it about his death, make it about his life.
No one's making a movie about Chance's life.
And ask his wife permission before you do it.
Obviously, that's how you don't get sued.
Yeah, not an awful song. And then we go to an awful song, in my opinion.
Found a good one, Single No More.
Another 90s inspired track that...
Chance has become a wife guy.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest culprit of the I love my wife trope on this album. Like, just pretty cringe overall with the lyrics and the...
The verse is kind of cute.
Okay.
It's kind of cute, just like the way he talks about his wife. It's a little cute.
Okay.
It's not cute enough to justify the rest of the fucking song existing. But it's kind of cute. It's like a disco-ass beat.
Yeah. Yeah, and then for whatever reason, though, it has, like, a fucking drill breakdown at the end of the song with, like, gunshots in the background.
I don't fucking know. Is
Is
that how this wedding ends? Do people shoot?
I don't know. It, like, came out of fucking nowhere. It was just, like, so upbeat and, like, 90s R&B sounding.
His brother's back to kill y'all.
Yeah, the people that stayed too long for the wedding. He's like, get the fuck out. But yeah, that was a very weird choice for the end of the song. And then we get to Town on the Hill, which...
This is just an I Love You God song.
Yeah, this is kind of in a similar vein to the title track of the album, featuring no rapping, just kind of Chance singing on it. But at least this one, he sings something different than the same verse 5 times.
Oh, thank God.
Like he does on the title track.
But it's just about loving God, which is fine.
Yeah, it's just another, I feel like, unnecessary snooze fest for me. Like, doesn't really add anything to the album.
Then we get to the last skit on the album, Our House.
Which is definitely the weakest skit on the album. I couldn't find anything of who the lady is on this one. I don't know if it's a famous voice actor, like how the other two were.
I don't know if that's actually Chance's daughter or not either.
Yeah, I don't know who it is voicing the kid. I'm presuming it's supposed to be his daughter.
Yeah, it's supposed to be his daughter talking about, like, now I got one house. I used to have 2 houses.
Yeah, and...
My parents are married now.
Yeah, and sorry, Chance, that this is your real daughter, but whoever the fuck voiced it, her voice is, like, creepy to me. Like, it almost sounds like like 60-year-old woman trying to voice a kid.
It's really weird.
She has like this really weird grit to her voice, and the way she's like, I can play with my toys at 2 houses now. Like, I don't know, just the way she says it.
I can play all my toys in the same house. When Daddy wakes me up and asks me what toys I want to play with, I say all of them.
Yeah, she's like, and I say all of them.
Like, it's really weird. I'm not a fan of this skit.
Yeah, I'm not either.
The best part about the skit is that it leads into the last song of the album.
Finally, after fucking 21 tracks, we get to the 22nd and final track.
Zanies and Fools.
Zanies and Fools. At first I thought it said Zanies and Fools. And I was like, Zanies again, Chance?
Zans and Fools. This is fucking... It sucks. This song is bad.
Yeah.
And that really sucks because every other Chance mixtape, all the Chance mixtapes, ended on a high note.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has a history of ending on a really good song, and he just fucking didn't.
Yeah, this one, it's trying too hard to be, like, epic, I guess.
It's so forgettable.
Like, and it has, like, a really fast-paced, like, I guess you could say, like, tribal drum beat. I don't really can't think of another word to describe the type of drum beat. It sort of reminds me of Who Can Survive in America off of the closing track on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
It has like a really fast drum beat like that, and then the way the beats switch up and the verses are kind of feels like he's trying to do the song. I forget what the name of the song is, but the song before that, like the second to last song on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, where it has like an indie singer come in, and then it has a few different rappers on it, and it's trying to be like this epic closer. Like, I feel like this is trying to do that, but it ultimately fails. And also Chance just seems like slightly behind the beat on the song. I don't know if that was just me or not, but it sounded like he couldn't keep up with it.
I didn't notice, but it probably...
Yeah, which Nicki Minaj comes in, and she keeps on the beat, and her rapping style suits the beat better, but Chance trying to rap over it just felt like he was like one step behind the beat the entire time, and it just felt really awkward the whole time he was rapping. But yeah, so
there's track by track.
That ends it.
Any lyrics you got?
Yeah, I said it earlier, but I'm about to book a show at the Dimsdale Dimmadome from All Day Long.
Okay, my first one is peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
From Ballin' Flossin'.
Yeah, that was definitely a
low
point of the album.
It was one of the lowest points of the album. After that, I got from Get a Bag, Stop Smoking Cigarettes, Now Pussy Tastes Like Key Lime.
I also got that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That kind of goes hard.
Kind of go hard. I got, from We Go High, I got an extension with a long nose like Phineas.
That one's good. I didn't get that one. But my last one is Shawty Got Cake If You Try to Eat More.
Oh.
From Hot Shower.
Shawty Got Cake. Oh, yeah, that was
Shawty Got Cake If You Try to Eat More.
I think that was Made in Tokyo's verse.
Probably. That was, so I was like, what the fuck is this?
I could fucking quote the entirety of
I had to stop myself from doing just that song.
Yeah, I could. I think I've already said my 2 favorite parts from that song. So yeah, that entire song could be on here. I also got from Let's Go on the Run, Baby I'm Deeper Than an Iceberg with Only the Tip In. It's like, alright. And then one that I think was actually pretty clever from Rue, I got The Keys Like I'm Keegan.
Ooh, yeah.
I thought that one was pretty good. And then my last one from Get a Bag is I Say Yup, You Know You My Favorite Shooter, Yup. Bing bang bing booka booka. But you got any favorite songs?
Okay, so my favorite songs are Do You Remember?
Okay.
Hot Shower.
Mm-hmm.
Rue. And actually that's it, I think.
Okay.
My 3 favorites.
Okay. I put 5 favorites because they're the only 5 songs I would ever come back to on the album. I got Do You Remember, Hot Shower, Rue, and then I also got Handsome and 5-Year Plan.
I thought about adding those 2 as well.
I thought about adding Get a Bag, but I was like, other than the Gucci verse, which is good, but it's not like, it wouldn't make me go out of my way to listen to the song again. So yeah, I was like, ultimately, I had to put 5 because I was like, those are really the only 5 I would ever think of touching again from this album.
My least favorite songs is the rest of the album, but mostly Zanies and Fools and Ballin' Flossin'.
Oh wow, you only picked 2 that were like ultimate travesties.
Also Eternal. We'll give it to Eternal too.
Really?
I don't like Eternal. It's mid as fuck.
It is mid, but I think the Smino feature brings it up enough to be from being absolute garbage for me. But my least favorites are All Day Long, Let's Go on the Run, We Go High, Ballin' Fawcett, and Found a Good One. But I think if I had to pick like my absolute least favorite song on this album, it'd probably be a tie between Let's Go on the Run and Ballin' Fawcett.
I think my least favorite one is Ballin' Fawcett.
Yeah.
The song is terrible.
Those two were fucking terrible, I have to say.
Okay, what are we rating this album?
I don't know. Like we said, all right. Let me get the drive pulled back up because I got the audience scores, if you will, from that. It is.
I know one was like a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. So Rate Your Music is a 1.25 out of 5. Metacritic was a 3.7 out of 10, and then All Music was a 4.9 out of 10.
Okay, so we'll just say the 3.7 is the aggregate score, so
Yeah.
the middle of the three.
Yeah, we could also go with the Rate Your Music since it has about 6,000
Okay,
more
so
ratings.
2.5 out of 10.
Okay, so pretty fucking low.
I give it a 3.5.
Yeah,
I think the good songs are good enough to make it a 3.5. I think the bad songs are bad enough to make it a 3.5.
Okay. I'll give it...
A 9.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
You love this album.
I'll give it a 2.5 out of 10. I'll go with about the median score of everyone else. Like,
it's not a good album.
Yeah, it's not. I feel like if you kept the best songs and then cut a lot of the album because it is way too overly long, like cut the worst songs out, keep the best songs in, and then the songs that are mid just worked on them a bit more, I feel like it could have been
a good album, but he spent too much time diversifying.
Yeah, and it's
probably
still
been like a 6.
Yeah, it still would have been by far his worst release, and nothing near the quality of anything he's done. But it wouldn't have been as bad. And I feel like if you would have done those things that I said and gave it to a rapper who hadn't had an album yet, or someone who's not as like high of a level as a rapper as Chance was,
it would have been good.
Yeah, it would have been like way more accepted by a lot of people. But
yeah.
It's just the fact that he was on top of the world for a minute there and then just released this, and it's just so, at best, mediocre, and at worst, like, absolutely unbearable. It just, I don't get it. It just makes it, I don't know.
It's wild. He, like, destroyed his... I think he's coming back, though.
I hope so.
Do you think this deserves one last breath?
No.
Fuck no.
No.
I say listen to the songs that we mentioned as good songs. If you're really curious, you can listen to the whole album. I don't think you should.
Yeah, I don't.
Especially not if you're just a fan of rap, maybe. If you're a fan of Chance, stay away.
Yeah, I feel like that's another thing. I feel like if no one has ever listened to, which I mean, it could have been what he was trying to do with this album, like
appeal trying to get new fans. But...
Yeah, like if you somehow didn't listen to Chance at all when he was at the top of his game, and you stumble upon this, like I feel like I could see somebody that's most likely a newbie to rap, like doesn't really know much, only listens to like really popular trap and like pop rap. Like I feel like
I could see them.
I feel like it could have a fan base.
But if you're a fan of Chance, stay away.
Yeah, it doesn't deserve one last breath. We can only hope that his next release will be 10 times better than this.
I hope we don't have to do an episode about that either.
God, I hope
because I will do an emergency episode.
An emergency episode.
Well, either way, we will see you next week with something a little thrashier.
Just a little yeah.
Just a little thrashier.
I mean, this was...
famous thrash album, Chance.
Yeah, I mean, this was like top 10 thrash albums of 2019, I gotta say.
It was the only thrash album of 2019, probably. Either way, we'll see you next week.
See ya.